Well, thank you, Virginia. Yes, just for those, the folks that are listening in, AIBTM is going into its third year. The first 2 years AIBTM took place in Baltimore. AIBTM is a major meetings industry show, and we expect about 3,500 people to be in Chicago in June. Of those 3,500, roughly 2,000 of those will in fact be meeting planners. Half of those, about 1,000, will be what we call hosted buyers. Now that term's been around, and I think a lot of people know what it means, but interestingly enough, a lot of people don't. In fact, I've been on a couple of panels recently where there was a lot of interest in really trying to understand what a hosted buyer is. So very briefly, a hosted buyer is a buyer that goes onto our site, registers, and essentially has to be qualified through the business that they do, because our intent is to deliver to the exhibitors buyers that are there to really do business, that are not there just to kick the tires, although they can do some of that as well. But really the intent is to match the exhibitors with the buyers so they can do business. So when our applicants go online and they register with us, they're vetted and approved based on the amount of business that they do. And in return for that, we take care of all the hotel and airline accommodations to Chicago for the duration of the show. There's no cost, there's no registration fee. There's a full day of CEU accredited education sessions, and then 2 full days on the trade show floor. So from the perspective of a planner, in the course of a couple of days, you're able to visit dozens, if not into the hundreds of people that you need to meet with one place and one time. It's like going on a bunch of fam trips, and also having the additional education sessions so that you can continue to improve as a professional. Then, of course, we have networking events in the evenings throughout the course of the time. But if you don't want to go as a hosted buyer, there are a lot of organizations that don't allow their people to go. You can come as a trade buyer. So a trade buyer essentially has to pay their own expenses, but it's free registration. They get free education day, and they essentially can come to the show and wander the show floor in a traditional sense. So that's essentially what's going on. It's shaping up to be a really great show, and if anybody's interested, obviously they can go on our website and get information and register right there.